I know some church leaders would rather take a cold bath in the middle of an Arctic snowstorm than talk about money with their congregation. The mere thought of preaching on finances makes them break out in cold sweats and even consider a career change. Can be a pastor's nightmare in more ways than one. But here's what I've discovered after 30 years of pastoring. Avoiding the money topic doesn't protect your people. It can actually harm them. When you refuse to address finances biblically, you leave your congregation vulnerable to wrong thinking, poor decisions, and missed opportunities for spiritual growth. In this video, I'm going to expose the reasons church leaders fear teaching about money, but I also want to give you a practical roadmap for overcoming those fears. You'll discover how to shift from getting money from people to getting money to people. And I'll show you exactly how to build confidence in addressing what I believe is a crucial discipleship area. By the end, I'm going to give you some tools to teach about finances with both courage and integrity. These are practical tools. So why do pastors dread teaching about money? Let me share the most common fears I've encountered in my consulting work. First, there's the fear of failure. Money is a topic peppered with landmines. Pastors know there's a high risk of saying the wrong thing, sounding the wrong note, or dropping the ball due to nerves and hostile reactions. They prefer bringing comfort rather than lifestyle-disturbing truths. And secondly, there's the that guy syndrome. No pastor wants to be labeled a prosperity preacher or someone who's always practically not about money. We all fear fulfilling the accusation that the church is only after your money. And the fear of perception often paralyzes church leaders into complete silence, which is a big mistake. Thirdly, many ministers lack financial training. They're well versed in theology, pastoral care, and how to grow a healthy church, but they often feel insecure about budgets, fundraising, P&Ls, balance sheets, and financial management. I was never trained on how to preach or share about finances, so when it came to me doing that, I really felt uncertain about the entire topic. Fourth, there's a very real fear of rejection. Ministers don't have a death wish. We enter ministry to love people, to lead them to Jesus, and we'd hope that some of that love would be reciprocated. Teaching about money, I think, almost guarantees intimidating reactions because money is incredibly private. But also, finally, some pastors struggle with their own financial chaos. When your personal finances are a mess, you're unlikely to wade into this topic. Teaching about living within your means where your credit card debt is out of control feels hypocritical, and it is. And I write a lot about these factors in my book, Church Financial Excellence. I unpack this whole area of what pastors are scared of and also begin to really unpack even more areas than I have today. Check out the book, link is in the description. But here's the mindset shift that changed a lot of things for me. Stop thinking, how can I get people to give? And start asking, how can I get money to people? When you lead your people into biblical financial management, you're not fundraising, you're discipling. You're helping them spend wisely, to eliminate debt, to increase income, and become wise stewards of all the resources the Lord has given them. There are people in your church who can't even think about being generous givers because they're drowning in credit card debt. How can you help them eliminate that debt? How can you help them think more biblically about their finances? How can you help them break out of poverty cycles that may have been in their family for generations? How can you get them thinking about businesses, increasing their savings, or moving into becoming an investor? This comprehensive approach helps people with their entire financial world, enabling them to live far more wisely and better lives and to really honor Christ with their finances. Church members struggling with unwise spending habits won't be focused on giving to your next building program or missions outreach. But if you help get money to people and grow their financial intelligence, they'll have opportunities to become generous givers. And mentioning financial intelligence, I have another book on finances about becoming a financially intelligent church leader. You can grab this one in the description below as well. I think this is a topic that I believe church leaders need help with, and that's why I've published those books to help you. Your church will build a reputation, imagine this, for getting money to people, not getting money from people. This really does change the dynamic, doesn't it? It removes that defensive barrier people typically raise when you start talking about money. So how do you practically implement this get money to people approach? So I'm going to give you 3 essential tools. Tool number 1, an annual money series. Every year, without fail, preach 3 or 4 week Sundays specifically on money management. No, not giving. You don't want 3 or 4 weeks on giving every year, but on financial intelligence. Dive into what Solomon, Jesus, and Paul said about money. Examine the provision stories in Scripture. Talk to your members, discover what they want to learn, then address those specific needs. And if you're really struggling to come up with concepts and ideas, send me a message and I'll give you access to some of the series that I've done over the years as a pastor. The second tool, financial freedom courses. I don't think preaching a 3 or 4 week series is actually enough. I think you need some small group discussions with video teaching preferably. It can transform lives by covering the basics many people have never learned. You'd be surprised about the financial ignorance of your congregation. Now, you don't need to create these resources. Excellent materials already exist, and I certainly would recommend the organization Wealth with a Purpose with Alex Cook. Google it, you'll find him. He has great resources to help churches in this area. And tool number 3, online resources. Now, if you're feeling already a bit overwhelmed, Pastor, don't worry. I've got some adaptations of these tools because you think, I'm never going to get all this together. How can I make it happen? I'll help you with that as well. Hang around for that advice. Tool 3, online resources. Provide some on-demand training that allows people to learn at their own pace. This approach accommodates different learning styles and busy schedules, but it really ensures that people have access to financial discipleship materials. Now, I think you can create a few of these just on video yourself. Just take your preaching series and sit down with a camera and just talk for 5 or 10 minutes and develop a little series that you can put up on your website, make available to your people. Use some AI to turn the video transcripts into some written documents, and people can access them 24/7, listen to them while they're at the gym or on the train going to work. Now, I think it's also important, Pastor, to pay special attention to discipling your key leaders in financial intelligence. Whenever you're meeting with leaders in your church, especially around your annual finance series, share your own stories of growth in financial intelligence. Push in a bit harder and ask them about their money management. Seek to help them with their finances, even though you'll never offer financial advice, but create some opportunities for open discussion. I think this is Discipleship 101. And if you treat money as untouchable territory, you will rob those leaders of crucial discipleship opportunities. I mean, the Bible is full of financial wisdom that your leaders and all your church members desperately need. And look at Jesus. I mean, he spent considerable time talking about money and its influence on the human heart. Study those scriptures and you'll find there's plenty of things you can use to speak with authority. Look at 2 Corinthians 8 and 9 about Paul's raisings of offerings. And it's realistic. It's not idealistic. And I think at times the Bible seems to oppose some different views about money. You see wealthy Abraham, wealthy David, and tent-making Paul. I mean, what's that about? You have to wrestle with these things and this diversity to actually get rich material. Let me address also one elephant in the room. Pastors can suffer from false guilt about benefiting from the money they raise. I mean, healthy churches spend around 40 to 50% of their budget on ministry salaries and admin staff, and especially on the lead pastor's salary. Pastor, don't let false guilt prevent you from teaching biblical stewardship. I mean, the alternative is you leave your people without financial discipleship. And I think that's going to be more harmful than teaching them financial stewardship. If an annual teaching series feels overwhelming and you're thinking, John, I'm overloaded now with all these tools and ideas, why don't you just do a single message? Do one in the first half of the year, one in the second half of the year. That takes the pressure off you. Don't do it on giving. Do it on financial intelligence. I mean, you can grab my book and get some ideas from here, pinch my material, make it your own, get your own stories. But even 1 or 2 messages will help. It'll build your confidence and your congregation's comfort level as well. Remember that every established tradition was once an innovation that faced resistance. Teaching about money is no different. And also, I think you can do maybe a couple of little videos and throw them on your website. You don't need a whole course. Just give people something they can go to help them. And it might be just 2 thoughts. You might want to take my book and just teach a bit out of this on video and give that to your people online. Whatever works to get you rolling in that right decision and that right choice. Because I think pastors struggle with this area, but the truth is these dreams won't come to pass unless you disciple your church, help your church grow in financial intelligence, and ultimately raise resources for kingdom advancement. So check out this next video on why your church dreams won't happen without a giving program, because ultimately you will have to lead your church into that.